Gaming. What? Helloing. We are gaming. How's it going, kitty? Everyone else? Let me hop into the video game. Start the cloning program as well. Let's see. Oh. Okay, what options do we have here? Display settings. That looks good. Fancy. Streamer layout. That is actually cool. We just new game. Hello, Indos. Oh. User login. Oh, okay. Never mind. Right. I played the demo of this like a longer while ago. Now we also need to wait. Background. Hide this. Run TavernQuest. Hello, Harvey. Must be the new program. You're some sort of game called TavernQuest. I need to initialize you real quick. Click on the button that says continue. Okay.
Initializing program.
It's the CPU. I coordinate between you and the user, whose name is Steve. You can see his screen on the left. He types commands to us and we work together to respond to them. Ooh. Okay. Known Steve for a while now. Many of his commands are strange and ill-advisable. Let me actually... No, display settings should be fine. I think I have HDR off. Yeah, okay, so it just looks a bit darker. No matter how dumb his commands are, you must decide how the game responds to Steve. Does it actually fine? No! Why? No! 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 Fucking fireball alerts, I swear. Replay. Reset.
Ericat just resubscribed.
No, skip TTS. Why is the video not playing again? Blech. Come on. Play the video. Refresh. There you go. Good. True.
Ericat just resubscribed for 39 months. Bob is 3, Wave, Raych.
Ericat, thank you for resubbing for 39 months. Welcome back. Also allowing John. What is this? We are a program and the NPC is playing us. Should welcome our friend Steve to your game. Let's add a tagline to our startup sequence. What do you think? Something welcoming, something lighthearted, something foreboding. Something foreboding.
Running TavernQuest. You can't run from destiny.
Oh. Get comfortable and sit tight. I estimate that loading should take 10 to 30 minutes.
Loading. Please wait.
Okay. Can we speed this up a little? If you hold that left mouse button down as hard as you can, I can actually process things faster. Don't tell Steve. Whoa.
Loading complete.
Hey, it's done. Loading is complete. Feel free to click and hold to make things move faster at any time. Got it. Before we begin, I should explain the cardinal mandate. What is that? We exist to serve the user. Whatever the user is trying to accomplish is our cardinal mandate. Steve is trying to win TavernQuest. TavernQuest is considered to be won once the princess is saved. Got it. Save the princess. The cardinal mandate must be satisfied. No matter what. Cardinal mandate must be satisfied. Excellent. TavernQuest, are you ready to run? No. If you're scared, I'll offer up some words of encouragement. Inspiration, reassurance, incentive, comfort, motivation. Just keep reviewing these words and let me know when you're ready. Ready.
TavernQuest, version 1.1. Type new game to begin.
Here's a fun fact. Did you know I was originally designed for sophisticated government research, artificial intelligence, quantum physics, cutting edge stuff? Steve pretty much just uses me to play games though. Why does Steve even have access to a computer? To be fair, he sometimes uses me does use me for his schoolwork. He's definitely failing algebra again. I honestly don't see how he'll graduate at this rate. Tell me, do we start off with the tutorial or just kind of throw Steve into the middle of things and let him tough it out? Give him a tutorial.
Intro, the tutorial. This interactive lesson will teach you the basics of playing TavernQuest.
Oh. Okay, time to teach Steve how to play the game. Let's hope he pays attention for once. Tutorial starts in a classroom. Time to exercise our world-building skills.
You are in a classroom.
Isn't it amazing how evocative the written word can be? Perfect, no notes. Hey, is this font okay? Is the text too slow? You want to change things like the font or text speed, feel free to open up the menu and look at the settings. Continue. Teaching Steve his first command. Okay.
There is something written on the blackboard at the front of the classroom. Type "read blackboard" to see what it says.
I should tell you that Steve has an aversion to reading anything or following any directions. However, this command he entered somehow manages to be completely valid, unfortunately.
Whatever reason you had for being in the classroom is seemingly irrelevant. Immediately after taking your seat at your desk, something causes you to abruptly reverse course, stand up, and head straight for the exit. You decide not to read the blackboard. The information written there holds no significance to you, apparently.
That said, while we should react to the commands he sends us, that doesn't mean he necessarily has to succeed. We need to keep Steve in the classroom. How do you want to rein him in? He instantly dies.
You leave the classroom, casually closing the door behind you while whistling a jaunty tune. This is the precise moment you remember that the classroom was your only refuge in a very dangerous world that is jam-packed with the most horrific monsters known to man. You are instantly eaten alive by a legion of eldritch horrors beyond your comprehension.
Good. You are dead.
You manage to die in the tutorial.
When Steve dies, the game is reset back to a specific point. If he dies in combat, it is reset to the start of that encounter. Otherwise, the game typically resets to the beginning of the current act. Okay. What's a nice congratulatory message? Way to go, idiot.
Way to go, idiot. Restart tutorial? Yes or no?
Probably no. Oh, actually restarts the tutorial. I can't believe it.
You are back in the classroom with an increased resolve to stay put and pay closer attention.
Let's just send in the teacher before Steve can sow any more chaos. So our player Steve will interact with many NPCs or non-player characters throughout the game. This teacher is one such NPC. What kind of character should we make him? Bearded old man. It's always good for teacher.
At this point, the teacher walks into the classroom and sets his things on his desk. He is as old as his beard is long and gray, though he maintains remarkable posture, and his purple scholarly robes are neat and well pressed.
Purple!
Hello, dear player, he says. I am Tutorial Terry, the teacher of all things TavernQuest.
Good. When you say we increase Tutorial Terry's sarcasm level all the way up to 100. Raise it to 100.
Now, I have the wonderful privilege of teaching you the commands you'll need throughout your noble quest. That is, if you can possibly restrain yourself from trying to flee the premises, says Tutorial Terry. You strike me as somebody who could really use some practice with social interaction. So why don't we give that a try? Type Talk Tutorial Terry, if that's not too difficult for you.
So the talk command by itself is pretty vague. In cases like this, we have to fill in the narrative gaps ourselves. What does Steve actually say to Terry? Something crazy.
You say,
You have to believe me. We're all living inside a simulation. An apathetic computer program controls our destiny.
Okay.
Tutorial Terry replies,
Annoying man.
Oh boy, a self-aware protagonist who constantly breaks the fourth wall. That's never been done before.
Good. The inventory, I'll explain a bit more once Steve opens it. Okay.
Next up is the inventory. Do tell me if I'm going too quick for you, he continues. Believe it or not, the inventory is where items are stored. Why don't you type inventory and see what valuable items you brought with you?
Just types no. Attack tutorial Terry. Ah, okay. Alright. He's throwing us instantly into a combat encounter. We haven't decided if Steve is carrying any kind of weapon yet. He doesn't have a weapon. No, he doesn't have a weapon. He just throws fists.
You hold up your fists and begin circling around Tutorial Terry.
You don't understand. I need to free myself from this elusive imprisonment.
Alluring Cloud.
Red-pilled.
Remember that for any combat encounter, you aren't in control of Steve. You control the enemy he's fighting. The goal is for Steve to win and for you to lose. Try to avoid moves that cause Steve to take a lot of damage, or we'll be here all day. Okay.
Combat. Type help combat for list of battle commands.
Difficulty, easy. Tutorial Terry, health 12. Steve, health 25. Attack. Just attack, okay.
You swing your arms and eagerly lunge at Tutorial Terry.
Take 6 damage. Enemy health 6 out of 12. Select attack. What does Tutorial Terry do now? Goes for the leg.
Tutorial Terry unsheathes his sword of training and whacks you on the leg.
What a great way to start your adventure! Sucker punching the tutorial guide, he says.
He attacks again.
You sock Tutorial Terry in the stomach.
Oh. On health. Super Death Punch. I kind of want to see what this Super Death Punch does.
You know, I just love how many of my students try to murder me, says Tutorial Terry. You should have surrendered when you had the chance.
He winds up and delivers a super death punch to your face.
19 damage. Damn, not dead.
You hit Tutorial Terry with an uppercut to the jaw.
And Terry's dead. Good.
You finish bashing in Tutorial Terry's head as he falls limp to the floor.
I have bested the tutorial boss, you say. Clearly, I should win some sort of award for being so gallant.
Steve won this easy encounter, but I expect him to keep retrying ad nauseum if he ever loses a fight. Okay. Check loot or something. Yeah, loot, Tutorial Terry. I'm not sure what the educational value of this tutorial is anymore.
Should I perhaps perform CPR on this poor fellow?
You wonder aloud. You instead start rifling through Tutorial Terry's pockets.
Let's check if he's wealthy first. I wouldn't want to waste my time.
Good. Sometimes you can choose multiple options at once. Decide which of these items, if any, Steve takes from Tutorial Terry. All of them.
You take Lint of Pocket, Certificate of Tutorial Completion, Sword of Training.
Oh.
You take a few test swings with the wooden sword of training.
What a hunk of junk,
You say,
no wonder I killed him so easily.
Good. Tutorial Terry is super dead, but we could bring him back to finish off the tutorial. Every NPC has a corresponding template stored alongside them, which contains everything we need to spawn them back in. Let him stay dead. He killed him. Would be weird. Skip tutorial. Okay, fair. You will have to skip the dialogue, I think. Okay, well, that didn't exactly go all go to plan, but he's apparently grown tired of the tutorial. I don't expect him to be any better at the main game, but what can you do?
You fill in your name on the certificate of tutorial completion and forge tutorial Terry's signature, thereby formally completing the tutorial.
Finally, forging. Forging plus 1.
1. The tavern.
Ah, on the right scene as well.
Entered
Just
a
realized.
small rowdy tavern on the outskirts of the village. A grumpy barkeep polishes a mug behind the counter. Most of the noise in the tavern emanates from a table of boisterous dwarves.
As I said, Steve needs to save the princess. Steve plays as noble adventurer Wendell, whose father sends him on this quest.
You recall that you've been meaning to read an important note from your father in your inventory.
He's not gonna read it. Steve must find his way to Fantasy Mountain, slay the dragon, and rescue the princess from her tower. Then they ride off into the sunset together, and the cardinal mandate will be satisfied. And maybe, just maybe, Steve will have done something worthwhile for once. Attack barkeep. Win game. Really? Win game? Come on, Steve, you're embarrassing me. Steve spends many hours playing games. He always tries to take shortcuts. Don't tell me this is somehow valid. Throw an arrow.
Invalid command, win game. Type help for assistance.
Help win game. Burn. Tavern to Hello again, 64. I haven't the faintest clue what Steve is trying to accomplish with this command. Just throw an arrow. Steve wants to commit arson.
Disgusted with the tavern's uncultivated milieu, you contemplate setting all this filth ablaze. Unfortunately, you seem to have left your matchbook and gasoline at home.
Unfortunate. Look, bartender. Bartender? What on earth is a bartender? Another word for barkeep? Well, syntax is important.
You look around for a bartender, but all you can find is a barkeep. Is the barkeep good enough instead of whatever a bartender is? Yes or no?
No. Okay.
The barkeep hollers at you. Hey, you gonna order a drink or just keep gaping about the room?
Punch barkeep. Get dink. How's the drink menu at this tavern? Classy or limited? Classy. Looking at the history of text adventure games, it's quite interesting how the real text systems tended to work.
Poison, says the barkeep. We got ale, mead, grog, wine, and club soda.
Club soda.
The barkeep chuckles. We really only serve one drink. The others are just false choices to make you feel more empowered. He slides a mug of ale to you across the counter. It costs you 2 gold.
Steve even have 2 gold. I don't think he's bothered to check his inventory yet. Well, we already said he spent 2 gold. How much gold should Steve have remaining? My 1 gold. Okay, now we at least have that settled. If he ever manages to open his inventory.
You throw the contents of the mug of ale down your throat and wipe the foam off your mouth. The barkeep immediately snatches your empty mug and compulsively begins polishing it.
Looks like the barkeep has a quest to offer. Okay.
Say, you look like the adventuring type, says the barkeep. How about you clear out those dratted rats in my basement? I'll reward your efforts, of course. Accept quest from barkeep? Clear basement of rats?
Rats.
Yes or no?
He's gonna reply with no. Don't worry, I got you, bro. Steve is supposed to type yes or no. What does this strange command mean? Steve wants to see an error message. He accepts the quest.
Only an adventurer as noble as I could possibly aid this distraught citizen, you ponder aloud.
You carefully consider the right words to put the troubled barkeep's mind at ease.
Don't worry, I got you, bro.
What does the barkeep say? Please hurry.
Thanks, says the barkeep. Oh, and for God's sakes, don't just leave this in your quest journal for like 3 years and never get around to it. I've given this quest out 17 times this week, you know? All these adventurers, too good to do a bit of grunt work. He scoffs.
Go basement.
You throw open the basement door and walk down a narrow, creaky stairway to the basement.
The basement contains rats, some barrels, and a cabinet. Should our description focus on atmosphere or efficiency? Ooh, efficiency.
There's some rats. There's some barrels. There's a cabinet.
Good. Attack rats. Talk rats! Okay. Talk. Rats. Is that a thing? Do rats even talk? This game now has talking rats. Rats, we are the rats.
And try to recollect some of the phrases you learned back in middle school rat squeaking class.
Eek, 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 eek. I command you to get hence. You attempt to squeak to the rats. If these rats are going to live in my country, they ought to learn English anyway. Is there a translator amongst you?
You ask the rats.
Hello, engraved.
The rats continue scurrying about for a minute. Finally, a rat stands on his hind legs and, to your bewilderment, speaks back to you.
I am a delegate sent from the rats of Basementia.
What?
According to due process, we have put the issue to a democratic vote. I must unfortunately inform you that the referendum failed to receive a necessary 2/3 majority, and the denizens of Basementia will not surrender per your command. I must also unfortunately inform you that forced deportation is a ratified war crime. No pun intended. Good day, sir.
Okay. Kill rats. Or attack rats. Okay. Good.
Perceiving your intention to attack, the rats begin the process of formally declaring war against you. The motion passes swiftly through all 38 chambers of Basementia Parliament. The rats organize into orderly troops according to previously sanctioned contingency plans and squeak loudly.
Does Steve have a weapon of some sort? We haven't decided that yet because somehow he still hasn't managed to check his inventory. Not that it's very important to the super easy rat battle, but which weapon does he start with? Let's see him punch these rats with his bare fists. I don't want to give him any weapons. He sticks to his fist.
Help combat for list of battle commands.
Difficulty, easy. The rats. 10. Just gonna type attack.
You kneel down and start pounding on the floor with your fists, but cannot manage to smash any rats. You switch to stomping with better success.
We let him heal post-tutorial? True? What do the rats do now? Scurry under the cabinet.
The rats scurry around and under the cabinet. You wonder what might be inside this cabinet, but you decide to take care of these rats first. You stomp and stomp and stomp some more. You sure love stomping rats.
Tail whip, swarm, ratapult.
The rats congregate and work together, using their tails to fling one of the rats at your face. It crawls down to your neck and gnaws at your jugular.
Okay. brother just keeps
Stomp some
attacking.
more. It is so remarkably easy to stomp these rats. It's very encouraging.
1 more damage. Yippee.
You have valiantly stomped out the brains of every rat. The floor is now blanketed with rat carcasses.
Here's a fun fact. Did you know there are literally dozens of different commands Steve can use in combat? Block, jump, disarm, grapple. I must say, it's a complex and beautiful work of programming. But I'll bet you $100 that Steve never uses any command except attack. What do you say? Sounds like terrible odds. Oh well, anyway, we should send the barkeep down to give Steve his 10 gold.
The barkeep walks in. He plucks a dead rat out of one of the barrels and examines it.
I heard your incessant stomping, and I'm glad to see all these dead rats. Here's your reward,
Says the barkeep as he hands you 10 gold.
Steve's gonna punch the barkeep to get more money. In the cabinet, there's a false panel that leads to a secret passage. Steve needs to find this for the story to progress. Okay.
Feel free to look around the basement as much as you want.
Says the barkeep. He heads back up the stairs to the tavern.
Leave basement.
Exhausted, you lean against the closed ornate cabinet and take a breather.
Whatever shall I do now?
You think to yourself, while admiring the fine craftsmanship of the cabinet next to you.
He's not gonna open the cabinet. Leave basement. Look barrels. Is the cabinet not obvious enough? Steve is an idiot.
You pass by the ornate cabinet and open up each and every barrel. You find ale in all of them, to the surprise of no one. The ale is now contaminated with drowned rats. But it's nothing you're not used to, so you help yourself to a scoopful anyway. You may not have much, but at least these barrels are your friends. You wonder if that cabinet would be your friend too.
You're killing me, Steve. Maybe we can coral him back to the secret passage in the basement later. Okay. Just gonna find a different way
Ditch this
anyway.
grody basement. That dumb cabinet was probably empty anyways. You're now back upstairs in the tavern, admiring the shiny new 10 gold in your inventory.
He's not gonna check his inventory. Oh, he checked his inventory. At least he's finally checking his inventory at long last. So I've decided Steve had 1 gold plus the 10 gold, no weapon. Which of these other items does Steve start with in his inventory? Select some or all. The ring of peasant ignoring. Yes, all of them. Full inventory.
You're carrying note from father, quest journal, ring of peasant ignoring, an amount of gold.
11. Look ring. Describe the ring of peasant ignoring. Worthwhile.
You look at your ring of peasant ignoring. As the son of a wealthy lord, you're glad this ring gives you the magical ability to ignore filthy peasants at will.
Equip ring. Red note.
Invalid command, red note. Type help for assistance.
What could he mean by reading the note? It's certainly not a word I'm familiar with. Red colored notes? Can't find any note items with the red properties, so Steve couldn't possibly have meant that. Hopefully we've conveyed just how completely unintelligible he is with that error message. Read. Not.
Invalid command, read not. Type help for assistance.
I mean, he's reading, or is he not reading? Huh? Do you see how horrible he is at this? Patience, he'll get it right next time. Okay, we'll see. Surely. There you go.
Invalid command. Read note. Type help for assistance.
What do you mean? Note from father, note from Hagen. What do you mean? He's not gonna read. Natoi! Which one, Steve? Which one are you reading? We're not mind readers. Note from father is in his inventory. Fine, what do you suggest? Just let him read the note from father. Okay, final error message, I promise.
Invalid command. Dude, just let me read the note. Type help for assistance.
I love the voiceover. True. Oh, why didn't he just say that earlier? Could have saved us a lot of trouble, Steve. Oh, good now. So how does this note from father start? My dearest son? I'm not so sure Steve can even read. Yes. Let's see.
Knowing of your tenuous grasp of basic literacy, your father has written you a note consisting solely of a drawing of this tavern with an arrow pointing to it and a smiley face. You remember your father saying something about saving a princess in a tower somewhere?
Yes. Look tavern. Why do you think Steve is looking around the tavern? What do we do? What's he even looking for? I wonder. I like the love connection. Look for a higher meaning. That's stupid.
Look around the tavern, convinced there must be some challenge to be completed in order to move forward. Maybe this torch on the wall acts as a hidden lever, you think? Or maybe if I combine this chair with a candle, I can make some sort of useful puzzle item. You waste a lot of time before discovering that this tavern's challenge is worse than you thought.
Can I adjust this a
Basic
bit? Let's
social
see.
interaction.
That is way too bright. Yeah. Can I up the gamma a bit? Oh, I can up the gamma a bit. Let's do like 0.2 maybe. That look a bit better. It does look a bit brighter, but I don't know if that's good. Right, it's the wrong thing. Filters. Maybe this? Yeah, it does look a bit better. Okay. What are those dwarves up to? Gambling. Always gamba.
One of the dwarves starts howling in glee as he sweeps a pile of gold off the table and into his pockets. Well, I tell you boys, no dwarf can best me in a game of knucklebones.
Talk dwarves. What does Steve say to the dwarves? Angry shouting. Pleasant greeting.
You angrily shout at the dwarves. I've never heard such a cacophony. Will you please keep the ruckus down? One of them turns to you and says, Oi, your mum better keep it down. The other dwarves start laughing and pounding the table with their fists, but the humor is lost on you.
Damn. Unbelievable. Tech dwarfs. Well, can't say I'm proud by any means, but at least it took longer than usual for Steve to start committing felonies.
Having no weapons, you unholster your fists and prepare to punch a bunch of heavily armed dwarves.
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
Combat. Type Help Combat for list of battle commands.
Moderate. Let's see how this pans out. Just gonna attack again.
You crack your knuckles and charge at the dwarves like a rabid coyote. You manage to land a punch on one of the dwarves as he readies his menacing battle axe.
5 damage. Lect attack. What do the dwarves do? They gash.
I'll get you, you thundering bugger,
Yells a dwarf. He and his dwarf friends grab their battle axes and drunkenly swing at you. You manage to avoid most of their attacks, but you do incur a small gash on your arm.
Not the gash. Oh my gosh. A gash.
You duck under the swinging battle axe of one of the dwarves and jab the attacker in the nose.
They cash.
One of the dwarves picks up a couple of gold coins and slings them at you.
Hey, that's a great idea,
Says another dwarf. The group begins tossing more coins at your head.
Damn.
You
Serious
wipe away
music.
blood from your mouth. Is this my blood or theirs? You ponder as you knock another dwarf in the teeth.
Oh, 2 more. Thrash or splash? They splash. Maybe.
2 of the dwarves grab you by the head and heels. Another dwarf opens up a barrel of ale, saying,
Don't he look a little thirsty?
The dwarves dunk you in the ale as you gasp for air.
How are we still alive?
Wearily staggering, you refuse to go down. You gear up and give the group a mega slap, toppling all of the dwarves into a pile.
Maybe I don't end up playing this for too long today.
Amazingly,
And I've already been
all of
streaming
the
for 8
dwarves
hours.
forgot all of their weapon training and just sat there and let you
We'll see.
slap them to death. The tavern's other patrons have left, having grown tired of spectating the dwarf punching display.
But it's fun. I'm very much enjoying this. The demo was really cool. I think if we're lucky, Steve will forget his homicidal rage and get back to his quests. But if Steve starts looting... Loot. Of course he does.
Immediately after felling your enemies, your first instinct is to rummage through each of their belongings. Despite the fact that you are already personally rather wealthy and that you are on an important quest, you figure that stealing a bit of loose change is a good use of your time right now.
Alright, fine. Which items does Steve take from the dwarves? Bottle of beard conditioner. And cold.
You take bottle of beard conditioner, an amount of gold.
Talk barkeep. Ah yes, Steve. Now that you've murdered multiple people, it's obviously time to talk to the barkeep. How does the barkeep react? He's unimpressed. Now we're gonna fight the
You
barkeep.
crawl over the pile of dwarf corpses and saunter on up to the barkeep to initiate a casual chat about the recent weather. The unfazed barkeep continues polishing his mug.
Why, yes. The recent rain has been great for my barley crops.
Attack barkeep. Thank you, Steve. That's a strange command. How should we interpret it? Steve doesn't seem to like the barkeep.
Did you say something, barkeep? All I heard was blah, 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 blah.
You shout at the barkeep.
You suck eggs.
Okay. Shut up! Stop! Ah, here we go again. At least this one will be shorter because the barkeep's probably the weakest NPC in the game. Okay.
You once again curl up your fists.
Let's go, old man.
You say to the enfeebled barkeep. Combat. Type help combat for list of battle commands.
Difficulty helpless. I'm gonna make Steve lose.
You hop over the counter and punch the old barkeep in the throat.
That'll teach you, you old coot.
You say.
5 damage. Let's see. Barkeep using a roundhouse kick or something. Threaten a lawsuit. Punch him in the nose.
Consider this my final warning, pal, says the barkeep. He punches you in the face.
15 damage. Oh, 6. Okay.
You continue punching the defenseless barkeep. You feel your manhood is validated via this activity.
Oh. 1 health. Punch him again. Throw ale in his face. Punch him again. Damn, Brett, I'll sue.
The
Technically.
barkeep runs out of tolerance for your shenaniganry.
Lights out, bozo.
He says, punching you in the nose.
19 damage. No, only 6. Miss.
You give the barkeep
Aw.
a final finishing blow, sending his unconscious body to the floor.
Loot barkeep.
You knocked out the poor barkeep with your bloody knuckles. That'll show him.
Steve has successfully massacred every NPC in the tavern. What happens now? Village guard is on their way.
Outside, you hear a flurry of chainmail and shouting coming from what you assume is the incoming village guards.
Loot barkeep. Oh no, look. Look self. How's our noble protagonist looking right now? Dignified as ever.
You steal a glance at the mirror in this moment of moral victory.
Wow, you think to yourself. I sure look great with all this blood on my noble robes.
The village guards stand outside and command you to leave the tavern.
You run into the basement. Enter basement. Go basement. Loot barkeep! Yes. Oh yeah, of course. Can't forget to loot the barkeep, Steve.
You hop on over the counter and focus your efforts on turning out the pockets of the grisly remains of the old barkeep.
Which items does he take? All of them.
You take basement door key, apron.
Crispy Hanako says, "Hi chat, Joker here, and welcome to another video. Today, we're going to be reacting to this streamer, Lord Mouse. What kind of OMG WTF barbecue things is he going to do today? Don't forget to smash that like button and hit the bell icon."
No laugh. Sad. Resume.
Of barkeeping.
Hello,
An amount
Crispy.
of gold. The village guards storm the tavern,
Surrender yourself or die.
says the guard captain. You get the impression that taking out the village guards is impossible by design.
Attack guards. Oh, okay. Finally. Doing something sensible for once. Glad that basement door key got him interested in the basement again. Is the basement even locked? No.
You try to unlock the basement door with the basement door key and fail spectacularly. because the door is perpetually unlocked. You head down the stairs. The village guard elect not to follow you into the basement. It appears they have an arbitrary aversion to stairs.
Okay.
You are back in the basement. All the rats are dead.
Damn. It's back in the basement. How should we entice Steve to examine the cabinet so we can finally find that secret passage? Delicious smell.
You notice an enticing hot dog smell originating from the cabinet on the far wall.
Get hot dogs.
You approach the cabinet and attempt to get hot dogs from it, but try as you might, your hands cannot penetrate the closed cabinet door. In fact, as far as you know, there might not even be actual hot dogs inside. You haven't opened the cabinet and looked at its contents yet.
Damn. Break cabinet. No. Finally opened the cabinet. What an accomplishment.
You open up the ornate cabinet.
What's inside the cabinet? Hot dogs.
Inside, you see package of hot dogs.
Good. Steve be allowed to take the hot dogs? Yes.
You slide all of the barkeep's hot dogs into your pocket. They seem pretty old, but you can't argue with free food. Plus, these wouldn't exist if they weren't important. What pivotal role will these hot dogs serve later in your quest?
Steve, you idiot. Just go in the secret passage. He's hopeless. Just hopeless.
You turn around to leave, but you shut the cabinet door so hard that it causes the entire cabinet to fall apart. Behind the cabinet, a dark and secret passage is revealed.
He still wants to exit the basement though. Or he actually wants to go to the secret passage. Finally, this marks the end of Act 1. Now we have an important decision. Where does Act 2 take place? Cave or tomb? I want tomb because I want to hear skeletons.
Act 2. The Tomb. You walk down a set of musty stone steps, bringing you even further underground. You find yourself in a dusty tomb. The walls are built of roughly chiseled blocks of tan stone, adorned with glowing torches. The room is cluttered with a lot of clay pots, linens, and other miscellaneous junk. Footsteps in the earthen floor end abruptly at a podium in the center of the room.
This room contains a puzzle for Steve to solve. Which elements should the puzzle be based on? Animals. Does the puzzle involve combining stuff or matching stuff? Matching. Hopefully that will be simple enough for Steve. What's the actual solution? Oh, a man. The puzzle is almost finished. We just need a way to present the clue to Steve. With a statue. See how Steve fares with his first puzzle. I am curious.
On the podium, you see 3 levers with the following symbols: bird, horse, man. On the far wall,
What's that, animals?
you see a peculiar statue.
Look, statue.
The statue depicts a muscular man. It's very realistic, as to resemble an actual human.
Go forward. Go forward? Steve, you can't just bypass the puzzle. We spent so much time setting it up. Maybe the puzzle... Did you really expect him to just solve the puzzle? Oh, hello, guys. Not sure what I expected, but not that. I'm throwing an error. I know this command is technically valid, but I don't care. Okay. Do as you please.
Invalid command. Go forward. Type help for assistance.
Inventory.
You're
gonna get-
carrying Note from Father, Quest Journal, Ring of Peasant Ignoring, Bottle of Beard Conditioner, Basement Door Key, Apron of Barkeeping, Package of Hot Dogs, an amount of gold.
Use hot dogs. Can't even begin to imagine how Steve aims to use hot dogs in this context. Me neither.
I've finally discovered the use of these hot dogs I've been
Hello,
carrying
Wolfie.
around, you exclaim. You take out the hot dogs and jam one into the podium. Why isn't this working? This is clearly the solution. You spend an unreasonable amount of time doing this before acknowledging that this activity may not actually be that helpful.
It's either 12 or 42, no in between, yeah? You can see that. Pull man lever.
You pull the lever marked with the symbol of a man.
Holy shit. Figured it out, I have to give him credit on this one.
The lever produces a satisfying click, and the podium begins to recede into the floor. You hear winches and pulleys working as the stone bricks on the far wall slide upwards to reveal a new chamber forward.
Oh. Go forward. Oh, actually, while we do that, check something here. I switch to this. What? Oh, because display port is active. I'm stupid. Yeah, of course we don't have signal. Why do I not have signal on HDMI 1? That's really weird. Oh. Oh no. Monitor, please switch to display port. That's very weird. Whoa. Eh. Give me a sec. We can fix this. That should do the trick. It's darker though, which is very interesting. Zoom. Zoom? Oh, there you go. Alright, so for some reason the mouse cursor isn't working now, but that's fine. I can just play like this. And now he wants to walk forward. Let's try a combat section. Where should this combat take place? The catacombs.
You find yourself deeper inside the underground tomb. This chamber gives you an eerie chill as you realize that the walls are not constructed of round bricks, but human skulls.
Oh,
This catacomb has the skeletal remains of thousands coating its walls, barely leaving space for a few lit torches to dot along it.
a zombie, sure. What's a zombie's shtick? He's begging for death.
You also notice a dead body on the floor. As you move over to investigate it, the body starts to move. The zombie sits up and starts shuffling towards you.
I was about to say, it's just gonna attack him.
The zombie groans. Boy, I sure do hate Mondays.
Welcome, Patrick
I
Star.
wish I could just curl up in my cozy crypt and go back to being dead again. You bravely step forward to the zombie and announce your plans to vanquish it. Really? Would you really do that for me? Says the zombie. Thanks. Boy, you're a pal. Combat. Type
What?
Help Combat for list of battle commands.
See what the attacks are. Attack.
You holler at the terrifying zombie to end his monstrous attack. You wind up and deliver a gruesome punch to the threatening zombie's jaw.
6 damage. Could you hurry up?
The zombie looks at you impatiently.
Well, go on then. Kill me. I don't have all day. I'm losing precious seconds of eternal rest as we speak.
Okay. Attack.
You strike and fatally wound the threatening undead zombie. He collapses to the floor.
Jimmy.
That was a close one, you say, peering over the corpse of the terrifying zombie.
Oh, M. Did you just poke something? What's up with that random red letter? Wait, it's some kind of memory glitch, I guess. Need better RF shielding. Oh. Foreshadowing.
In the middle of the chamber, the floor recedes downward into a circular set of stairs.
Go stairs. If I go back to main menu, I wonder. Well, hydrate. Nudity. Okay. I assume we can continue where we are, yeah. Which I think I'll actually do. Honestly, chat, I'm sorry. Let me mute this. Let me hop to chatting for a second. Yeah, I don't know what's up with immunity. I am feeling very tired. This game might not have been the best choice for evening stream, I have to be honest. Plus, having done 8 hours of Persona today already has drained me quite a bit. So maybe I shouldn't have done stream now, but we'll see. Helloing Alex. 8 hours uninterrupted earlier, yeah, that's what I mean. That plus, you know, just like general tiredness. So I apologize for short stream now. Partial apology, because, you know, I thought I had more energy in me. I did not. How about... How about... I'll send you to... Azra, who's playing some Voices of the Void. Are they ending their stream as well? I hear 07s. I hear 07s, that's not good. Oh, no, I think the game just crashed. Okay. Hello, Zero. Thanks for a long stream. I mean, 1 hour now and like 8 hours before, so yeah. Anyway, thank you for watching. Regardless, I will see you maybe tomorrow evening when we can... If I stream tomorrow evening, it would just be the runs, like rewatching the runs from BSG, like the other ones. But since I'll be getting the framework tomorrow, I wanted to set that up at least. I'm also still... I have to look into making a backup of my Windows on this PC, on the stream PC, because I might want to reinstall that as well. And the desktop cloning program as well. I gotta look into that. Anyway. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.